Wow.
Hello.
Good day, mate.
Good day. Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Welcome back.
Did you have a lovely Halloween?
Hope so.
Yeah. We are recording this in advance, so technically this would be yesterday.
Yes, Halloween was yesterday.
Yes.
We walked around with my nephew.
Yes.
Dressed as a skeleton. Adorable. I'm
I
sure you
can't
didn't hear
wait.
that because I whispered it, so he's quite adorable.
There you are. Is he a skeleton?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you guys were being Vikings.
Oh, so the whole thing was centered around Aria, who is my sister's dog, who love her.
She's so cute. She'll get in the pool too.
God,
She's so
she is
funny.
like, she's just one of those dogs that's just hammy and funny and like. So we were gonna dress her as Toothless, because she just has that, like, if you've seen How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that what it's from?
She's just got that like really hammy face, just like Toothless does. So we were gonna dress her as that, but we couldn't find a costume. She's a big dog, so we couldn't find like even just bat wings because she's solid black. So we couldn't find any bat wings or anything like that. So we're just gonna dress it. I think my sister and I are gonna make some Halloween skirts, or by the time you're watching this, we did make Halloween skirts.
There you go. Like tulle?
I don't know yet. We had to pick a pattern. We picked a really cool pattern.
You could, if you're interested, they will be on Royal Malarkey's Instagram.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So by the
For
time you
sure.
see this, it will have already happened.
Totally.
So welcome back to episode 32. Today we are talking about Philip the First.
House of Capet of the Capetian Dynasty.
Capet.
Do your thing.
Capet. House of Capet. The Capetians.
All right.
Yeah. I
So-
had to do it dramatically this time because you
Yes.
just made a thing out of it.
Yep. Thank you for going along with my thing.
Why not?
So if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe this video.
Yes, please.
There are a whole host of other shows on Aversion TV Network, such as ANX Gamecast.
They do giveaways sometimes.
They do
Like,
giveaways?
Tune the freak in and you're going to end up with something really cool.
Like really cool. They have
Mhm.
all kinds of cool stuff. If you're into any kind of gaming, check them out. They also have a shorter episode, which is the weekly update.
Mhm.
And then new to Aversion Network is Vagabond Nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check them out.
We'll have them on one of the we'll have two of them on the 12 Days of Christmas we have coming up.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic. One of them's an author. He wrote a really killer book about Bigfoot, basically, and crazy
It's
stuff
about,
happening
like-
in Dallas.
yeah, crazy legends like that in the DFW area. So
Yeah.
check them out.
All right.
All right. So last week we talked about
Henry I of France. He is known for not having a whole lot of power and France being really tiny under his rule. Also mostly known for rebelling against his father and saving his nephew, William the Conqueror, future King of England.
Yep. So he was known as. Nope. Oh, I was moving on to Philip, and I didn't mean to. Continue your recap.
I was just going to say, he died in 1060. We don't really know how, but I'm guessing there was a horse involved.
Hunting of some kind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hunting of any form.
Yeah. So moving on to his first son with Anne of Kiev. If you'll recall, the Matildas didn't really work out for him.
Nope.
So he married Anne of Kiev. They had 4 children, the oldest of which was Philip the First, who we'll talk about today. Philip was born on the 23rd of May, 1052, in Champagne-Fontaine.
Cool.
Why not?
Yeah.
He's also known as the Amorous, so Philip the First, the Amorous. And actually, very unusually for this time in Europe, his name is actually a Greek name, so we haven't seen a Philip yet. And that is because Philip or Philippe is a Greek name, a name of Greek origin, which was given to him by his mother, who we established was Ukrainian, Russian,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Oh, yeah, we're good.
I could talk about who he married. Want to know who he married?
Not yet.
Okay.
So Anne ruled as queen regent for a while and stopped around the time she remarried, likely because the guy she married for the second time was already married and still married. So the Pope was not on board with the whole 2 wives scenario.
Did she even remarry?
She did, as I guess if the Pope doesn't acknowledge it.
Is it? If a tree falls in the forest.
And no one's there to hear it.
You know? Anyway.
So her husband was excommunicated and Philip was pressured to cut out his mom because of this. So he was initially crowned at the age of 7, and his mother and another guy, Baldwin V of Flanders, helped rule as regents until he was 14. I believe 14 is roughly when she remarried, and then she was like booted
out.
Yeah.
Got it.
So next on the list is his first marriage to Bertha of Holland.
So he first married Bertha of Holland in 1072. They had a kid. So he actually had 3 children with Bertha. The first being Constance, daughter, was born in 1078. What?
Oh, just on that mic.
I feel like I'm like on the mic. Constance was born in 1078. She married Hugh I of Champagne in before 1097, and then apparently they were divorced, and she married somebody else. The next being Louis VI of France, was born on the 1st of December in 1081, and then a son named Henry, who was born in 1083. So even though they had kids, they had lots and lots of kids, Philip fell in love with another woman named Bertrade. So Bertha really didn't do it for him, so he went for Bertrade.
He went for the divorce, claiming that she was too fat to be married to her. If you're watching on YouTube, check out our slide in the middle here. We've got Bertha up in the castle.
In the tower.
Looking down upon her husband falling madly in love with his future new wife.
Bertrade de Montfort. She was the wife of Fulk the Fourth, Count of Anjou. But he married her anyway on the 15th of May, 1092.
Real quick on her husband, her first husband, she had a son with him who would later become the king of Jerusalem.
Nice.
I know. Like all of her kids ended up founding these big dynasties.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this woman was like,
she's
important. Said to be so beautiful. Anyway, he was also, her first husband had a nickname called Le Reine. Which is translated to mean quarreler, rude, sullen, surly, and heroic.
That is a lot of different adjectives.
Isn't it? He was noted to be a man with many reprehensible, even scandalous habits by the Orderic Vitalis, who was an English monk and historian.
Okay. Interesting.
Anywho, so she married Philip.
Together they had 3 children. So Philip, again, was born in 1093. Fleury was born in 1095. And Cecile, 1097.
So he was so enamored with his new bride that even when the Pope came to threaten his excommunication for even marrying her, he steadfastly refused and stood by her. And the threat turned to reality in 1095 when the Pope actually did excommunicate him. And he was even prevented from joining the First Crusade as a result.
Oh.
I imagine that's a big blow as king at that time. Yeah.
Like almost like people who don't, like for medical reasons in recent history, can't join the military, but
Really
when everyone's getting drafted and people really kind of look down on men who don't.
Yeah.
Join the military.
I feel like he still came out on that one ahead. like not going to the Crusades.
I lived a little longer.
Yeah. So Bertrade really wanted her son Philip to succeed her husband and not his actual eldest son from his first marriage, Louis, right?
Louis the Sixth.
And an English monk claimed that she sought to kill Louis, first through the arts of sorcery and then by poison.
Yeah. Sorcery, though. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, he can't. I mean, look at that face. Isn't that the face of a sorceress? So beautiful. And also another historian, William of Malmesbury, said that Bertrade, still young and beautiful, took the veil at
Bonvra
Abbey. Always charming to men, pleasing to God, and like an angel. Even though another guy said she definitely practiced sorcery and tried to poison somebody.
Well, if I practiced sorcery, wouldn't you think I would look like an angel? If I had the power.
Do you not already look like an angel?
Don't I?
What about me? Me?
Both of us. The angels of Royal Malarkey.
YouTube question. Are we angels? No, don't do that. I don't want to know the answer.
Only answer the question if it's yes.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, that was not ready.
That was it. So he died.
He did.
There? Okay.
Yes.
He died in the castle of Milan and was buried per his request at the monastery of Saint-Benoît-sur-Loire.
Not Saint-Denis?
Specifically not Saint-Denis, among his forefathers. Something about... Do you have a thing to read?
I have a thing for you to read.
Yeah.
As I typically do.
I was like, there's a thing to read. Did you do it? You're going to make me do it? Okay.
Always.
So, a French monk historian named Abbot Sugar.
I love it.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Sucre.
You just have to come up with a different way than me.
Sucre is, sugar. Okay. So, quoting the abbot, King Philip daily grew feebler, for after he had abducted the Countess of Anjou, he could achieve nothing worthy of royal dignity. Consumed by desire for the lady he had seized, he gave himself up entirely to the satisfaction of his passion. So he lost interest in the affairs of state and, relaxing too much, took no care for his body, well made and handsome though it was. The only thing that maintained the strength of the state was the fear and love felt for his son and successor. When he was almost 60, he ceased to be king, breathing his last breath at the castle of Moulins-sur-Seine in the presence of the future King Louis. They carried the body in the great procession to the noble monastery of Saint-Benoît-sur-Loire, where King Philip wished to be buried. There are those who say they heard from his own mouth that he deliberately chose not to be buried among his royal ancestors in the church of Saint-Denis because he had not treated the church as well as they had, and because among those of so many noble kings, his own tomb would not have counted for much.
Fascinating.
So, in the end, at least, he had a clear head.
Yeah. He died around the age of 55/56.
And was succeeded by his son, probably to the anger of Bertrade, Louis VI, from his first marriage to Bertha.
Yep.
Although the marriage did not go uncontested, or the succession did not go uncontested, which we will talk about next week.
Yep. Story for another day, right?
Story for another day.
Okay. I think we're ready for our relevant tidbit.
Always.
This week, we're talking about why babies in the medieval paintings look so old and ugly.
Yeah. Why?
Well, here's the thing. I'm sticking with the theme.
Okay.
Because I'm pregnant.
Why not?
So we're going to tell you a lot about parenting and baby stuff for a minute. As long as I can find something interesting, and then I'll move on to some other topic. But for the time being, this is funny.
Okay.
Look at this baby. If you're on YouTube and if you're listening, I encourage you to go check out our YouTube video. It is uncut. So you're listening to the podcast version. You're getting like clean cut, for us. And if you're watching on YouTube, this is completely uncut and it is how we record it. Like, no apologies.
The real deal.
This is just who we are. But there is there are going to be several ugly babies on YouTube. Caitlin, how do you feel about this baby up here?
Look, if we're being honest,
Mm-hmm.
at our age,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason that Clarissa is the one that's pregnant. And not. I don't particularly find babies other than my nephew to be cute to begin with.
However, this one is particularly ugly. I'll just
This
let
one
you
is
know.
particularly scary and enough birth control for most women, I would think. Right?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah. So this is on Vox.com. The article is called Why Babies in Medieval Paintings Look Like Ugly Old Men by Philip Edwards. You can follow him at Philip Edwards Inc. And we will put the full link to the bio, to the full link
The article.
to the article
In the bio.
and in the show description, show notes. So first off, interviewed in this article, you're going to hear the writer, author refer to Matthew Averett. He's a historian professor at
Creighton University.
He also edited the anthology called The Early Modern Child in Art and History. So, Caitlin, you have quite a bit to read, but I promise it's entertaining.
All right.
Take it away.
Ugly might to be or not to be. Ugly might be too weak a word for medieval babies. These babies look like horrifyingly tiny men with high cholesterol and strong opinions about housing association rules.
I agree.
Yeah. These scary man babies make one wonder how we went from ugly medieval depictions to the recognized cherubic babies of the Renaissance and today. So why are there so many ugly babies? The reason turned out to say a lot about art, medieval culture, and even the way we think of children today. These ugly babies were very intentional. Drawing a line between the medieval ages and the Renaissance is a useful tool when considering ugly babies and significantly more lovable ones. The two eras tend to show a difference in values. If we're thinking about children in a fundamentally different light, the painting will reflect the attitudes, says Averett. Style is chosen, he continues. We might look at medieval art and go, these people don't look right. But if your goal is to look like Picasso and you make a realistic painting, they'd say you don't do it right either. Though there were artistic innovations that came with the Renaissance, they aren't the reason babies became better looking. Medieval portraits of children were usually commissioned by churches. And that made the range of subjects limited to Jesus and a few other biblical babies. Medieval concepts of Jesus were deeply influenced by the homunculus, which literally means little man. There's the idea that Jesus was perfectly formed and unchanged, Averett says, and if you combine that with Byzantine painting, it became a standard way to depict Jesus. In some of these images, it looks like he had male pattern baldness.
Real quick, check out that slide. She does not look happy about that baby.
He's like, oh my God, my baby's so ugly. What's he going to do with his life?
Oh, God. Oh, no.
So what changed to make babies cute again? Ooh. That's what you went with. Okay.
It is my favorite one from the slide.
Non-religious art flourished, and people didn't want their own babies looking like creepy men. In the Middle Ages, we see less art of the middle class or even the common people. Averett says, once the Renaissance happened, that began to change as Florence's middle class flourished, and people were able to afford portraits of their own children. As portraiture expanded, people wanted their babies to look like cute babies instead of ugly adult homunculi. That changed the norms for a lot of art, including, eventually, portrayals of Jesus.
Thank God.
Woo.
Yikes.
Like, for people who are scared of babies to begin with.
Here you go. I'm just saying.
Show
and
them one
also,
of those.
the moms on each of these are just like, oh,
Yeah.
why is he so ugly?
Why is this my baby?
Thanks
Thanks for tuning in, you guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us. You can find us at royalmalarkey.com. Check out our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit that like button. And also, we'd like to tell you all again, another heads up, we are making changes.
Yeah, so we'll continue the countdown today. Today's episode 32. We have 3 more episodes to go before we end season 1 in Francia. And we will be bringing you a whole revamped season 2 that is Bebe accommodating somewhere around the middle of January. So stick with us for 3 more episodes. You're getting tons of story episodes from us for 12 Days of Christmas in December. And then we'll have a whole new revamped Bebe appropriate show for you in January.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
See you next week.
Toodles.
Bye.